Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we are going to show you how to draw a person performing a split. So a split is a very common, it is an exercise, or it is it's a posture, but it is at the core a martial arts pose. So we are looking at this from the front view, but we are also giving it, we'll try it with like two different perspectives. So slightly, like looking slightly down and right at the front, and then one absolutely flat, and of course we're looking right at the person performing the split. So we have the this is the surface, let's say, and we can imagine that the legs, so just try to create a frame sort of like that. That is the center of the torso. Now this will be easier than you think. So what we are showing is, since we are showing the first one is just a straight body. So straight body is that, so this is the groin area right here. We go upward, the ab, and right above it the chest area, shoulder set right here, and the collar right here. Now we could put out the head and oval right there. The legs, of course, because we're showing a split, we are having the legs go so just that way and this way. So this is a perfect split to start. And the first can be curvature like that, the other like so, because this gives a little balance to how the legs like should be. And then eventually we have that. So those ovals, of course, they denote the feet that'll go there. So what we're going to do is put out these elements piece by piece. So knee, shin. Now the calf, now we could show this exactly flat, because if the person is like wearing overalls and like exercise gear, it won't really, there won't be too much of curvature showing. But we can do it for our own sake, just for the exercise. Put a calf here, put a little curvature, and then go back down. Do the same thing here, and of course round this off. There's the ankles, and we put down pretty much the core of this exercise, and which is the perfect split. And of course with the hands we have there's like one of so many things. So let's start with the most complicated. Let's say this is a smug, confident person performing a split. So if any of you had the opportunity to check out some older movies, so one of I'm not sure if you're familiar with the name, one of Jean-Claude Van Damme's earlier outings, I believe it was called I do not remember, I think it was either like Bloodsport or something like that. There was a pose in which he first pounded his opponent, and then he was playing the bad guy in that movie, one of his earlier outings as mentioned. So he first pounded the bad guy, then he went to the corners and put each foot on the turnbuckle, and then did that. So a crossed arm pose on top of the turnbuckles, and it was a perfect split. So we're going to work this out. Let's say that we want to do that. And if you would like, you could check our some other videos in which we have done cross-armed poses, and those might be instrumental in getting the cross arms going as well, because we have covered different angles, but we are covering one here regardless. So one arm over the other right there, depending on how much foreshortening we need. So there's a cross arm pose with somebody who is very confident of his splits. And then of course we can also do some other things. So we could also have the arms going like that. So elbows, forearms, and let's say that we have one hand right there and the other hand coming in right there. That could be another possibility, but there's like all sorts of things we can do with the arms. But when it's a perfect split, there's only so much we can do. Now we will cover one more angle of the split, of perfect split, in which there will be a lot of foreshortening, because there's a very popular pose where they grab the feet, or they try to grab the feet if they can. But the other aspect that today that we are covering is also showing the splits. So let's say that we are looking at it slightly from the top. They might appear somewhat like that. And there's some foreshortening here. We're going to, let's say, bring the feet here and end it right there, which means that the feet might appear they are not as long as these, the feet or the legs don't appear as stretched out as these, but they are the same height regardless. So what we're doing is, so foreshortening, you could do circles like that so that we have a particular balance, or you could just like draw it right out, come that far, put the knee, get the shin going, so calf, and the leg going right back. So that's another way of showing it. There's a slight bend here, and we do not really need the bend, so we could just eliminate that by, let's imagine that we're stretching the leg out a little bit. So we just bring it out and let it rest like that on the floor. So that's the other way of showing the split from that particular angle. So what we're going to do is just round this off with this one itself. Let me just put up. So this is not necessarily a perfect split. It is an awesome split, but it's not a perfect split. And what we're going to do is just put the hand right there again. So that we can see this. And we should have brought that hand in a little bit, so we will. Sorry. Just bring that hand in a little bit, because we are seeing this from that certain angle, and that is how it will appear. And of course we can do all sorts of things with the head as well, that we can have it hunching downward. I think that would be like a fitting yoga exercise or a martial arts stretch. So thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, keep in touch, do check out our content. We put out content every other day, and have yourself a wonderful day.